It's time now for The Drive on ESPN Blacksburg, AM 1430, 810, FM 94.1, and live on the web at espnblacksburg.com.
It's The Drive on ESPN Blacksburg, and a good, moist Wednesday night to all of you. My name is Paul Van Wagoner. B-Roy in the other studio is taking your calls at 961-1430. 961-1430 is the number to call. 866-961-1430 if you're outside of the New River Valley. Jason Stamm is joining us. We got to make this quick because this is actually his window, Brian, to get some sleep. First of all, man, congratulations, buddy.
Hey, I appreciate it, Paul.
For those that don't know, Jason and his wife had their first baby. And was it the day before or the day after Thanksgiving?
He actually came on Sunday afternoon.
He came on
the day
Sunday.
after,
okay.
I got to see the Virginia Tech, demolition of UVA,
Yep.
and then he came on Sunday afternoon,
Okay.
right before 2 o'clock.
Nice. And what is his name?
Jet.
I
J-E-T-T.
I like it. Named after my favorite sweep in college football, right?
Well, I mean, it's definitely Brad Cornelson's favorite play in college football on Kansas Phillips, and it's like Mook Reynolds told me last night when he and I were talking about it. He said, Jason, you kid better be an unreal athlete with a name like Jet.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I can only hope he's fast with a name like Jet. So I'm trying to help him out, at least give him some kind of boost. But, from here on out, some of that's only and a lot of that's in his hands.
I can only hope that he got his mom's athletic ability. That's all I'm going to say about that. Jason, of course, is with the VTZoneScouts.com. And one thing that I noticed, and I actually think I tweeted one out to you earlier, is that we are starting to see quite a few decommits and flips from different players. And, in fact, one that's kind of close to home here in Virginia is the Grady brothers decided to leave Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, Paul, I'm not sure exactly what all is going on in Tennessee. It's a little surprising. I mean, this time of year, this week after the final regular season game, because a lot of teams, their seasons are over. You've got championships and bowls for, all those teams with winning records or at least 500 records. But anybody who's made a coaching change, there's a lot of kind of waiting around, seeing what's going to happen, or obviously a couple that have already made decisions, so it's kind of waiting to see if you're still okay with that decision.
Right.
So this is a pretty big week for a lot of decommits. You're going to see a lot of guys just still from here on out that will do that. But as far as Tennessee goes, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's been some stuff there. I've got friends and sources on the staff there that say nothing's wrong, but you've got these decommits. You've got Jalen Hurd who left the team mid-season. There's something's just not sitting right there, and even if they're not wanting to say what's going on, something's up. And as far as the Gaddies are concerned, I don't think Virginia Tech is in any position to get those guys. They never really gave Tech a really strong look to begin with. I would look. I don't think they're going to. Either one of them are going to go too far away from home. And they definitely are a true package deal. Those guys want to play together somewhere, and somebody's going to give them a chance to play somewhere. I think Brayon is a little better than Brandon Gaddy, but both are very, very good D tackles and good, good D linemen. I think will definitely make somebody very, very happy over the next couple seasons or so.
Another kid that decommitted from Tennessee yesterday, athlete C.J. Cotman. Would there be any interest? I mean, he's a four-star kid, so I would assume there would be at least some interest from a team like Virginia Tech, or is that too much of a long shot?
Yeah, I think it's too much of a long shot at this point. I mean, they've got a lot of guys I think they feel pretty good with, who are either have visited or they're still contemplating visiting. So maybe they get in on somebody like this. But also the other thing too is he's not really in an area that Virginia Tech recruits that much. They recruit Florida, but he's not on Jacksonville or that side of the coast, the oceans, the Atlantic side of Florida. I mean, he's over in Clearwater. So I think that also makes a difference. Charlie Wiles has so many connections throughout Jacksonville and up and down that coastline all the way to West Palm Beach. He's got a lot of guys who he's in very good contacts with. Not too much on the other side. Torian Gray had a lot of those guys in Lakeland, Tampa, that area, kind of Central Florida. But I don't think I'd be shocked to see him, go in on something like this, just because they don't have a lot of connections with those kind of guys.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Any other kids right now that have decommitted or are thinking about decommitting? Hopefully not from Virginia Tech that you know of, but that might be of interest to Hokie Nation.
Oh, by far the guy to keep an eye on right now is Daz Newsom.
Okay.
His brother is Dion Newsom, who obviously is already on the roster at Virginia Tech. And Daz, I got a chance. I've seen him a couple times through the years, mostly at camps. I did watch him. I was at the Virginia Beach satellite camp that Virginia Tech had back in, I believe that was June. And, even then, I really thought he was very, very close to getting an offer from the Hokies. I mean, Holman Wiggins, the whole staff was there, but Holman Wiggins, I think, individually worked him out for probably, 45 minutes, 45 minutes, and you just don't do that unless you're really close to offering or you really like somebody that you're going to give them an individual workout, or at least, individual attention like that at a big camp setting like that. So it's taken a little while. He did commit to Maryland in October. I know our Maryland sources have reached out to us already, and I think they're feeling some heat now that Virginia Tech offer has come. He has set an official visit to Virginia Tech for, I believe it's January 20th.
Okay.
So that is one. I don't know if he's going to wait that long. He may decide well before then. But as far as somebody who is probably the best odds to flip and that concerns Virginia Tech, it is hands down Daz Newsom.
Could he make a pro-Virginia Tech commitment without taking that official visit? I mean, I know legally and all that he could, but is it likely that he would?
He could. Like I said, because of Dion, he has gotten to know, especially Bud Foster, because Daz is more on the defensive side. I don't know. I know back in the summer when I saw him at camp, they worked him out more at receiver.
Okay. But
he could play receiver or corner, and I'm not sure which one they'd want to fill him in at. I mean, it's good to have somebody you can fill in at both spots, but it's still not 100%. I don't think where exactly he would play. He's a smaller guy. He's about 5'10", 170. You've already got Taj Capehart. I'd like to think they'd probably put him on the defensive side of the ball, but Daz is a really big-time athlete. And his brother was the same way coming out of Hampton also a few years ago. So, Daz is very well familiar with Virginia Tech. I know he's been here. I can't even count how many times through the years to either see his brother or, when Daz was a lot younger. I think he was probably only, a freshman when Dion was coming up. So I know he's kind of seen it from kind of a backseat perspective, but I know he's got a already pretty good grasp of Virginia Tech, and again, getting to work out with him quite a bit over the summer at the camp. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he doesn't wait until his official visit to make that decision. And again, I know Maryland is also looking very closely at how this one progresses.
I know he said Christmas Eve, but any new news on Devin Hunter? I know that the world of Twitter has been begging him to make their Christmas right by joining the Hokies. Anything new on that front?
Not really anything new. I mean, he did visit Alabama over the weekend for the Iron Bowl, and we knew that was coming. And we'll be taking an official visit to North Carolina this weekend. He'll be at Virginia Tech next weekend. That'll be the last official visit weekend that anybody can take, is that December 9th,
right
before the dead period. So he's got two more officials coming. Again, he wants to make his announcement on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve Day, I guess. But all signs still, I think it still points to Virginia Tech.
Okay.
These other schools are hanging around, and Devin is he's too good. I mean, everybody wants to think they've got a shot at him, but when it's all done, I really think I'll be very, very surprised if he's not a Hokie.
All right. Now, I got to ask you, because I'm making the trip this weekend, so I need to know who I should be watching out for. As I'm sure you know, Blacksburg High School is in the state semifinals. They are going to play against Phoebus on Saturday at 2 o'clock. I've been watching Blacksburg all year. I know who the good kids are for Blacksburg, but what about Phoebus? I know that they've got some talent there. Are there any kids that I should be watching out for that are either going to be future Hokies or could potentially be?
Phoebus, I don't know a ton about, I'll be honest, Paul. I mean, I did watch them a few years ago when Marshawn Williams came out of Phoebus, so I got to know that program pretty well. I mean, through the years, they've had just really good teams.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's anybody that really, would stand out as far as Virginia Tech is concerned. But, again, a good team. Marshawn Williams, he started at Hampton, transferred over to Phoebus to finish out a couple years ago. So they've got a lot of tradition at a place like that. I think Blacksburg, definitely it's impressive they've made it this far, but I think definitely will probably have their hands full with a team like Phoebus.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, and you get to this point in the high school playoffs, and I know you follow a lot of these. You get to this point, and pretty much every team is going to have their hands full. I think I wouldn't expect there to be very many blowouts in these semifinals this week.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, the blowouts are all that opening weekend when you get some of these teams that kind of scrape into the playoffs or take a spot that maybe they normally shouldn't just because somebody has to take a spot. So, yeah, you get down to this weekend and next weekend, you're getting down to the best of the best. So I think it says a lot for Blacksburg to get this far. I know Cole Beck has had a great season, as a lot of the guys on that team. And that there really are. It's a great example of a good team.
Right.
I mean, Blacksburg has played very, very well all season. Again, they've had some guys that have stood out. I know, Luke Babcock has had some good games. Like I said, Cole, but it's a really good team, and it's really impressive to see that they've stayed together and stayed the course. And look where they are right now. They're right on the doorstep.
Let me ask you this about Cole Beck. Has his stock increased this year? I mean, I think that probably the easy answer is yes, but I guess the better question is, how much has his stock increased this year based off of what he's done so far, especially in the second half of this season for Blacksburg?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I like Cole is a pretty good athlete. He obviously got great, speed to burn.
Right.
I mean, you see what he does, not even on the football field. So I think that's really appealing to a lot of schools. To me, Cole is hands down an FCS level kid.
Okay.
Right now, I think he's borderline. I don't know if he's going to get. It's kind of waiting to see what happens. He may be one of these guys that this time next year we're talking about. Could he get some D1 or not D1 but FBS offers?
Right.
But as far as a FCS level place like a William and Mary or a Liberty or a JMU, I think he's easily that caliber athlete. But it's kind of waiting to see again how he progresses over the next year to see whether he's going to be that type, can kick it up to be one of those FBS level guys. Is
it size that is the concern? Because, I mean, he's probably about 5'10", 5'11". He maybe goes about $170. If he was 6'1", 205 doing what he's doing, would that make a huge difference?
Absolutely. The size has a lot to do with it. I mean, again, he's a very good athlete, but, that doesn't always translate to the next level. You got to look at the size and, just the way he plays and try to project. I mean, that's all you're doing is you're trying to project how you think these guys are going to translate,
sure,
2 years down the road, especially for a guy like Cole who's still got another year of high school left. I think there's plenty of room for him to grow and improve. So, like I said, already from what I've seen, I think hands down he's an FCS level kid. But I know he's still waiting on some offers to come in and, waiting to see what comes. I know he's got a Delaware State offer and has been kind of, waiting to hear who else gives him a call or shoots him a letter or whatever to say they want to give an offer. But, like I was telling his dad, the way it's become, he could really improve his stock with some impressive camps in the spring. That's just the way it is. That's the one place you're going to get to go. I know they're not in pads, but go against guys from all over the region or the country. It's the best of the best at these camps. So I know it's kind of like the underwear Olympics, and that's just the way it is because it's just too much to risk. And there's guys that still get hurt, but too much to risk by having them being in pads. So until somebody finds out a better way, that's kind of the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason Stamm is with the VT Zone and Scouts.com. If people want to do some subscribing, maybe, Christmas is just around the corner, maybe a Christmas gift. What kind of deals, what kind of specials? Are you guys still doing the Sports Illustrated thing?
Well, we do still have the Sports Illustrated thing. We've
All right.
also got, we actually extended. They had a Cyber Monday deal that started on Cyber Monday. Obviously.
Okay.
So they were doing a buy one, get one free. That's been extended tonight until 11:59 p.m. So,
Nice.
yeah, if you go to the front page, thevtzone.com, and check out kind of what's going on there, you can definitely cash in still on that deal.
Any chance you guys got horse on a treadmill T-shirts?
I don't, but I've seen some of those around, so I'm sure you can get one screen printed if nothing else.
Yeah, I gotta find me one of those. Jason, man, hey, go get some sleep or something. All right.
No, man. I'm on about 6 hours the last couple of nights. So
Total or each night?
I'm kind of coasting through right now.
Now, are you getting up during the nighttime feedings, or are you being?
Oh yeah. I'm up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, last night, he's getting a little more scheduled. The first couple of nights a little rough.
Yeah.
Second night, he was, I think, 5 a.m. before he actually went down. So. Yeah, it's been some long nights. I'm sure I'll have some long more to go still, but I mean, it's a great feeling, man. It's just can't explain it. Actually seeing him, I watched him being born and holding your son. It's a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, again, congratulations to you and to the missus. It's awesome, man. It's maybe 4 or 5 more of those, right?
Well, we'll see. I don't know if we're going to have an army of them yet. We definitely have talked about we're going to have a gang of Chase Stamms.
There you go.
We'll see.
I like that. You know what you can always do if you get 5, you can make a basketball team.
That's true.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we can have a traveling squad. To do a Globetrotters, take on the Globetrotters or something.
Yeah, your own AAU squad. Jason, hey, thank you so much, man. Take care. I'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, Paul.
There you go. Jason Stamm, Scout.com and the VT Zone. We'll be right back. It's The Drive.